Hello everyone. So we are today going to discuss one of the key features of onboarding. So that is a rehire scenario. Okay. So without any further delay, let me go to the mind map straightforward. And I'll be showing you my screen. The mind map is there. Just a minute. This is the rehire scenario. I have already created a mind map for you to make it easy. So what you can see, there are two parts. Okay, so in the entire onboarding process, as we focus, today we'll be focusing on the rehire process. There are two parts. One is again two acronyms, ROOE, that is Rehire On Old Employment. Second one is Rehire On New Employment. So what is the key difference between this? Let's understand first, then we will go further. So whenever I'm saying rehire on old employment, right? So what does that mean? So let me go to the here. So it refers to your specifically to data model, the employee data model. It respects your employee data model, whereas rehire on basically the new employment, it will be respecting to your onboarding data model. There are two different data models. It will respect that onboarding data model, right? And if you refer the implementation guide as well, so they also the same, the latest implementation guide, the chapter number 16 you'll be finding here as for the latest version. And rehire for entire, whenever you're having a new employment, so basically you will be added to the old person entity. The new employment entity will be added to the old person entity, and you will be definitely having your other entities like user ID, employment ID be generated once again. So you'll be having 5 different IDs here. EC will be having those personal entities like a national ID, person ID, employee ID will continue from the previous employment. But again, other entities like 2 ID, like user ID and employee ID will be generated again, right? So this is the thing you have to understand, rehire on new employment. And there is a rehire on old employment. Whenever you are saying, that means mostly it is used for seasonal hiring. Okay. And SAP recommends to use primarily this rehire with new employment. It is not recommended to use old employment, rehire with old employment, unless and until if you're having scenarios like seasonal hiring scenarios, right? Then you can. So now we're here. So there are 4 things that actually SAP is saying here. Whenever you are doing this, you need to manually configure a business rule to enforce any kind of a new employment if you are doing. Okay. And second thing you might be thinking, this is one of the key questions asked by people. Profile inactive user search can already display the rehire after rehire and old employment is chosen before the managed pending hire MPH step, right? What does it mean actually? Okay, so let's explain it through a system. I will go to my system. And if you see in the system here, suppose if I'm going to employee profile or employee file, whatever you say it, and let's say I'll be opening the employee. And this is the person, Nikwan Navanmesh Mansingh, the person name. And if I search around this person, okay, so there is a here where exactly there is an option called include inactive users in search. So how do you search that? Suppose if I'm selecting this, I can search anyone who is also, let's say anyone who is a inactive users also, that I can search for that employee, right? So what they are saying in this rehire scenario, that whenever you are hiring basically a old employee or means in this scenario, the second point is profile inactive user search. That means this one, it will already display. It can already display the rehire after rehire and old employment chosen before the managed pending hire. So you'll be having different stages, right? In a typical onboarding process, we have a managed pending hire stage, right? So if you have revisited, you are revisiting your typical onboarding process, right? So these are different processes of onboarding, right? So basically initiating onboarding, data verification, task creation, these are different steps, right? So whenever you are having this scenario of a rehire case, what will happen? Before this person, so as per the statement, it says, because whenever the person is leaving the organization, he will be inactive, right? So before managed pending hire, so you'll be having a managed pending hire step. Before that, in the inactive user search, it can display that rehire employee. Okay. After rehire an old employment is chosen, before that, it will be finding. That is the meaning here. It is a little tricky to understand, but if you have seen this in the Employee Central profile inactive user search, that means here, if you're going to search in any inactive users, right? If you go here and I include inactive user search, that person will be visible before that. Okay, so that is the meaning of it. Okay, it's a little tricky, but this is how what understanding is. Okay. Another thing is future dated terminations are not currently supported. If you are having any future dated termination after a period of time, right, where the last working day is planned for a future date, in that case also it will not, it is not currently supporting. It is subject to change as we speak. It is not supported. Okay. So next one is onboardees may be listed as supervisors or workflow approvers before they have completed the onboarding process, right? This may cause delays in workflow approvals and task completions. Okay, this is again a very important activity you have to understand. Let's say the new hire, the rehire person, onboardee, we consider as onboardees. So they are joining as a manager on after 3 months. Okay, but system and they are responsible for some kind of a workflow. Okay, let's say leave approval or any travel approval, any kind of approval. So before they join, they will be assigned as those onboardees will be assigned as a supervisor for those workflow, but still they are not in the system, right? So that is again a limitation, I will say, at this point of time. So till they join, those approval needs to be waited. So that is the kind of a limitation at this moment we are having. And it can cause delays in the workflow approval or any kind of a task completions if you are waiting for. So this point number 2 and point number 4 actually a little tricky to understand. So I've tried my best to explain. Still, you have any doubts, you can let me know, right? So to make it simpler, I have tried to create a mind map. I know it is very tricky. So what you can do, so you can go through the mind map, which I have created. I'll be sharing this in the communities as well. So there are 2 parts. So I've also color coded. Okay. So compare, you can easily compare. Rehire on old employment, that is this one. RONE. This is, I have created this acronym. SAP didn't give that, but couple of notes, if you refer SAP notes, they follow this naming convention. ROOE, that means Rehire on Old Employment. Okay. So from a data model point of view, if you compare these 2 things, okay, one is a rehire on old employment, and another is a rehire on new employment, right? This is what we are talking about here, right? So here you'll be finding basically rehire on old employment, it will follow employee data model, but here rehire on this one, okay, or your basically it respect your onboarding data model. Okay, that is the main thing which you have to understand here. Okay. So now coming back here, just a minute, autofocus, let me on it. Yeah. So here, if you see from a typical implementation steps point of view, let me go there. Rehire process. If I go further in the rehire process, we talked about it, basically the ROOE, right? So here it respects the employee data model. Okay. However, in the RONE, rehire on new employment data model, it respects your onboarding data model. Okay. So that is the difference. And the next difference is, if you see here, for rehire on old data, rehire on old employment, the rehire verification and rehire data review, RHDR means rehire data review, are 2 different conjugative steps, but they're tied to the same to-do task. They're 2 different their steps, okay? But those are tied to the same to-do task. What is the difference here? In the rehire on new employment, rehire verification and new hire data review, they are 2 separate tasks. Okay. So this is another difference we have seen. Then now coming to ROOE, that is rehire on old employment. Here, rehire verification and RHDR, that means rehire data review, must be completed by the same user. Okay. So this is the same user. But if you go to the RONE, rehire on new employment, rehire verification and NHDR, new hire data review, to be performed by different users. Okay, so that's another difference you have to remember. Now coming to the next difference regarding the data merge. Okay, so in case of rehire on old employment, data merge will happen only on the UI, user interface for review, and the data is not saved to the system unless it is reviewed and adjusted by the rehire coordinator's user, right? So remember, it is only happen on the UI for a review, but data is not saved to the system unless it is reviewed. But in case of RONE, Rehire On New Employment, data must happen in the backend first, then is it reviewed by the relevant user, whoever is the coordinator in the new hire data review stage, right? So this is again another difference. The next difference is here in the Rehire On Old Employment, both person data and employment or user data is merged actually, okay? But Rehire On New Employment, what will happen? Only person data is merged, okay? So this is another difference. The last difference is here, post second rehire. Suppose you are again doing a second rehire check, NHDR and PDC. PDC means personal data collection. New NHDR means new hire data review. Need not to be completed again and would be skipped automatically in case of Rehire On Old Employment if you're doing a second rehire check, okay? But Rehire On New Employment, so post second rehire check, NHDR and PDC to be completed again. So this is the different differences we have seen, and that also you'll be getting to know. So I just prepared some notes for that as well, okay? So this you'll be getting in the communities as well, okay? So if you have not subscribed to the channel or YouTube, you can subscribe now, and you'll be getting such a new videos almost every week, okay? So that is my channel here. You will be finding youtube.com, my playlist that will be like here. That is your, let me go there. So switch my account here. So you will be finding this is my channel. And in this, you will be getting all the latest videos playlist. Okay, this is my channel. And here you'll be finding, we have almost 400 plus videos we have, and it is growing and growing based on the student demand, right? And you can go through those playlists, whatever is suitable for you, whatever is relevant for you, okay? And if you want to be part of the community, you can always join School.SuccessLabs Academy, which is again a paid community, and you can get it through this website, School.SuccessLabs Academy, and we offer different subscription based on your need. And it is the onboarding module. It is part of your gold membership as of today. And you will be getting access to not only the onboarding, but at the same time, you'll be getting access to the different other modules as well. It covers your platform fundamentals, core HR, core HCM, your position management, recruiting, onboarding, time and attendance management, succession planning, PMGM, right? And you'll be getting all in the same package itself. Okay, it's a mentorship model. And it is a lifetime access. You'll be getting lifetime subscription. And also, once you complete, you'll be getting a success sprint certification as a token of appreciation for you. And it's a 300 hours plus, it is growing, okay? And also there are simultaneously, we have Ask Me Anything session from the upcoming, every weekend it's happening. So these are different features you'll be getting. And that's the way, okay? So we can go through it. And if you like, you can always reach out to me, and if you have any further queries also, you can ask to me, right? So this will be, and this recording will be available and in the onboarding experience track, okay? And there are also old edition, which is still SAP is continuing the onboarding one. Very soon in 2025, I think they will be decommissioning. For the reason I kept it. Otherwise, my focus is always on this latest one. We call it onboarding. Nowadays, SAP dropped the onboarding 2 term. Onboarding means it's onboarding 2 only. And I call it in my platforms onboarding experience. Okay. So this is a track to look after, and it has almost 17 different tracks and around more than 30 plus videos, okay, different resources, and it's keep on growing, right? So that's all about for today. And if you have any further queries, you can always ask your questions in the community, or if you're watching it from the YouTube, you can always ask those questions in the comment section. Thank you, everyone. And I'll be sharing you soon in another new video.